This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Lucha Libre. Grab your mask and get directly into the ring with Los Heroes of Lucha Libre. Today on TRS, we're back to comics with a look at Superman, Earth 1.
We're back with another comic book segment, 2 in 1 week. What? We must be crazy.
Crazy people.
We are crazy for comics. And the comic we're talking about today is Superman Earth 1. Now, most of the comics that we've talked about on this show are trade paperbacks that are collected story arcs that were released monthly issues and then collected to give you the entire story in one volume. This comic is not that. This is an original work by J. Michael Straczynski and Shane Davis and was not released in monthly format. It is just a hardback trade book that belongs on your bookshelf like anything else.
Now this is what I get into arguments with other comic book aficionados to say this is a graphic novel, whereas these other things are trade paperbacks. Is it though?
Yeah.
Really?
Semantics?
Yeah. I'll trust you on that, but...
J. Michael Semantics?
Yeah.
So here's the thing about this. It made a lot of waves because it's J. Michael Straczynski, a guy we've talked about a lot. He's the Babylon 5 creator. He's also done a lot of comic books. We talked about Supreme Power on this show many moons ago. This is his kind of reboot of Superman and his take on the Superman mythos from the ground up. So things are a little different here. Of course, it's Superman, we know Superman, but he's much younger than typically Superman is shown as.
It's sort of Smallville years, post-Smallville grad student Superman.
Yes, but he has a much different relationship to Ma and Pa Kent. Everything is different here. Takes quite a long time for even Clark Kent to wear glasses. Clark Kent doesn't wear glasses for most of the book. And there is a giant intergalactic death force that comes. So the action is on a very grand scale. But a lot of people are thinking, this is a take on Superman that could be something that somebody might want to make into a film. This is a unique take. So let's not think about it as a film. Alex, you enjoy
First of all,
Superman.
intergalactic death force should be its own comic or band or anything.
It is a couple bands.
So get rolling on that.
I'm gonna
So,
do
yeah.
it. Put that in the back pocket. So,
Yes.
Superman Earth 1, what was your take on this material?
Well, I definitely enjoyed it. Trying to think about it now.
What happened?
You know,
Did you bring a leather jacket?
Yeah. No. Oh, Superman's in it, right? Superman's
That's
in it.
the key point.
Yeah. Oh, the leather jacket Superman. No, I really enjoyed it. I liked the sort of alt take on Superman. I liked that he was kind of not shy early on in the book and using his abilities to further his
Well, a lot of
career
the
and
plot revolves around what is Superman gonna do?
Right.
Like, he moved away from home, he gets into town,
he's clearly made the choice to not be the Superman we know and love, right?
Well,
I mean, that's early on it
in
says.
this
Yeah.
he hasn't even gotten to that point yet. Like, he doesn't, he's never solved crime, he's never fought crime, he's never been supery. He's got the powers, he knows the powers, his parents know he has the powers.
Yeah, but it seems like there were some back conversations that had previously taken place between his parents of like, you can choose to be this person, but he's sort of like, nah, I don't kind of want that. And the story is kind of the evolving, sort of with great power comes great responsibility. To take a turn from some other superheroes. So anyway, I really enjoyed the take. Do I need to see more of this world's Superman? I don't know. I mean, I like things about the classic Superman. This
So what is it about this one that turns you off a little bit?
A little angsty, little teen pop for me.
Okay.
But some of that was good, and some of it I was like, Didn't really care for the Lois Lane character and the sort of like, I'm going to take a picture, even this giant robot's stepping on my foot. And it's like, no, you wouldn't.
Well, that was Jimmy Olsen certainly had more balls than he's really ever been written.
No, he had more balls than any human being has ever had balls in the world. He had more balls than Superman had balls. So that I didn't really buy or care for that kind of stuff. So there was a little bit of with it, but it was a really fun, enjoyable roller coaster ride, and it's sort of fun to see, these classic characters retold in a different light. So I definitely enjoy it, and I think it's a good read.
They definitely were the most
unrealistic characters.
Yeah, that whole situation.
Because the relationship with the mom and
whole
the son,
dynamic was
but
very comic booky and hokey, and I was not turned off by Superman Earth 1. I read it all in one sitting. However, I didn't really know what to. Very curious to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are praising it. My Twitter stream was like, gotta read Superman Earth 1 and all this stuff. When you turn us onto it.
Well, but before you go on,
okay.
I think a lot of that there's. A lot of the reinvention of a character is kind of what Christopher Nolan's Batman, or a lot of those things is grounding it in the real world.
Yeah.
And this is a take where it's a fresh look, but not doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
I
kind
agree.
of resorting
Yeah.
to that trickery of.
Right.
It's still grand. It's still over the top.
And I think related to that, I didn't quite understand why this happened. It made me want to revisit, and so I did, Secret Identity, which we reviewed on the show because you turned us on to it way back when, and we all loved it. I mean, it's one of my favorite stories now, and that is a wonderfully unique take on.
That's the Kurt Busiek.
It seems like why J. Michael Straczynski? Why that if you take out the gimmick that it ignites Secret Identity, they're pretty similar, except Secret Identity is more unique and says things much more poetically and artful. The only thing that I did, first of all, I love the art in Earth 1.
It's
the
beautiful.
art is gorgeous and crisp and clean and gorgeous. And I did like the big bad. We talked about the Zack Snyder announcement of the film. How what's the best way to do a big bad? Lex Luthor. How do you make it? And I did think causing him to choose that sort of moral dilemma of do I come out or do I stay hidden and then I can't save people? That was a great device to have drama in your overpowered superhero story. So I liked that, but it was very hokey. I didn't think it had that much unique going for it. I didn't think it was that interesting of a take on him. It's pretty. The things that were different didn't make me go. Weren't clever and didn't bring any new art to the story. They just were different.
Yeah, I actually agree with you to a certain point. I mean, there was stuff I liked about it. I think you were referring to this a little bit, the fact that initially we show he's a Superman in every way. He's not just big and brawny and has superpowers.
Yeah.
He's the smartest guy in the room at all times too. He can master anything. He is super on every level. And that's an aspect of the character that no one really ever touches upon. I thought that was really cool. I didn't like how young he was portrayed. It felt a little Peter Parker-y almost, you know? And I did not like the big bad. I thought it's an interesting idea in the sense that really it's drawn from his origin story. So it's the thing that destroyed Krypton is the same thing that's going to come and kill him. It's cleaning up the last remaining Kryptonian by destroying all of Earth in order to get to him.
I like
And
that.
all
I
of
like,
all
even
the
you
previous.
just saying that again, I like
Well,
that.
but
You didn't
also-
like that part of it?
Also, the previous worlds that he goes to a world, screws stuff up in hopes that somebody will come out and be like, wait a minute, I'm banging your face.
That's in something else.
It's always a good
I don't know
science.
why.
That's in other things too. That gimmick of we're effing.
Silver Surfer's a little bit like that, but not for that reason.
No, isn't that in something where we're like we're gonna destroy worlds just to bring you out?
Oh,
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thank you.
That might be what I was thinking. I don't
Tagline
know.
takedown.
Sorry.
I didn't like the design of the bad guy. I thought
hear
that
that.
the sort of
Clown.
The IDF was a little bit designed weird.
And the nana, like I hate this sort of post Warren Ellis nanite thing that a lot of comic writers are using now, where it's like, oh, the metal can rebuild itself and all this. And it feels like a trope that's been a little overused. I agree with you. Art is stunningly beautiful. And I like some of this story. I love the idea of, yes, there can be it can be grounded and heightened at the same time. It can be, it can feel like a fresh, in our world look, but it can also be on a grand scale. And I'm really hoping that the film that Zack Snyder's doing takes cues from that, and Superman needs to be on that scale. And I think that was the misstep of the last Superman, is that his fight with Lex Luthor is not on a grand enough scale. So I think this is a really interesting book. It didn't hit a home run as I hoped it would. I'm a Straczynski fan, and I think it was like a solid double, or maybe round into a triple, but it just didn't hit that complete home run for me. So,
So remember to stick around for Today in Rad History, but first we want to thank our sponsors. Jeffrey?
It is my sincere hope that every person watching this has seen us do Lucha Libre Wrestling. We went and did it, and it was one of the most impactful moments of my life.
Well chosen word.
Yeah.
Lucha Libre Heroes del Ring is a video game that's out now that gives you the same kind of visceral action that we experienced firsthand. It's a bilingual wrestling game. Friggin' awesome. You grab your mask, you hop in, and you're doing wrestling moves. You can sign up and find out all the updates, videos, and all that stuff by going to facebook.com/AAA Heroes. That's AAA Heroes, or on Twitter, it's @AAA Heroes. So I suggest people do that. It's pretty wild stuff.
Funsy, onesie, bing bongs. We will see you tomorrow.
You don't want to miss tomorrow's episode where we play charades.
So today is December 2nd, and today in Rad History, in 1988, Naked Gun premieres, a movie based on TV's Police Squad. Iconic movie. For me, it was all about the boobs of the San...
Nice, Beaver.
What's it
Thanks,
called?
I
The
just had
San
to
Onofre nuclear power plant, because we would drive from LA to San Diego all the time when I was a kid. So when this movie came out, I was like, I know those boobs.
This is my first parody film. Yeah. My first Zucker Brothers thing. I didn't see Top Secret. And my introduction probably was to Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
I just recently saw the original Forbidden Planet, and where he's like the strapping
badass,
male lead. And it's like, what? Why is he not telling jokes? Funny.
Naked Gun. Put some pants on.